And the wonderful breakdown once more by the I Hold Shift. As you saw right there, we're doing the 2 split season this time around. And at the end of today, that's going to be halfway through split 1. So for these teams today, it is all about getting over that halfway point. You want to be in the top group coming out of the split. That'll basically guarantee yourself a chance to get into those qualifiers. And right on the edge of that are both of these teams. It is going to be the game tonight going down between Shawnee State and Butler University. Right off of the rip, looking at the stats, looking at the teams these guys have played in the past, Camber, do you have any favorites?
Well, I think you make a great point. Like, everybody's trying to win every game that shows up on the schedule, but as we get towards that split, you really feel the pressure start to mount. Really need to get these wins under your belt so you can make it to that top half of the split once it comes around. And yeah, we got a favorite here. Butler 3-1 coming into the night. SSU Blue 1-3 on the other hand. So you're probably looking towards Butler to get this win, but it's not necessarily going to be the easiest thing, right? Like, I think last night we had a similar matchup where there was a power team, went the full distance, went 5 matches. I've been privileged enough to call now 3 straight matches that have gone to a game 5. So I'm hoping that can stay true here tonight and we can get a good one, a nice competitive match on Tuesday night here.
Yeah, and I mean, you cannot count out either of these squads for Shawnee State. They have one win. They are 1-3, but it's over Ohio State Gray in reverse sweep fashion. So they've shown that they can continue to grind and play through these squads. Speaking of the squads, let's run through the players that we have coming in on both sides. For Shawnee State, it is going to be Pump Knot, White Chicken, the Shadow Man, and AC, I believe. And then run us down who we got for Butler.
Over on the Butler side, like we say, a little opposite record coming in at 3-1. Their one loss comes against Purdue Gold. So that is, I mean, one of the power teams in the CCL to lose to. When we look at this roster, you got Plasma with that 2-5 hardpoint KD. Slash and Knives will be going as SN in-game. Vortexna and Sir Aaron will round out the squad for Butler, the Bulldogs. And we're getting right into the first match. We got Crossroads, Hardpoint, Submachine Guns, Paradise, where you can really run free. But those rotations on P3 and P4, like we talk about, also so important. We'll see what these teams have in store for us as we get into the first map.
Yeah, coming in here on map 1, as you say, we got to see who comes out hot as these Slayers. I mean, us as casters, we can look at the stats that have been gained up until this point, how these teams have performed. But when you're going up against squads of a different level, maybe you've been playing very high caliber teams up until this point, and now you're taking a step down. You have freedom to reign. Maybe it is the other way around, and this is going to be your first matchup against a real deal competitor. You never really know who's going to be coming out hot, as right off the bat, Plasma going to get first blood down onto White Chicken, and the battle for Hill 1 comes through.
Huge battle for Hill 1. It gets pretty mixy here, but you got to be playing the rotations for P2. As you look at the mini map, you can see the blue team still spawning up where they want to be. It's just a matter of holding on to oh, I'm actually sorry. It's the white team who's got the spawns right now. You got Plasma picking up kills on the outside of the hill, trying to just hold here. He's got a teammate going to push for some time. It's pretty deadlocked through the start of this one. You've realized that both teams not so worried about the time on P1. It's just about getting those rotations in place so you can set up for P2.
Yeah, Plasma going off right here in the back of the corner. Gonna pick up a double kill for himself and try to just keep eyes on towards Hill 1. That Shadow Man behind the corner as Siren tries to turn it. Have we agreed on how we're gonna pronounce that today, by the way, as Plasma hits this 6th streak looking to get that artillery strike?
That's an interesting one. Siren, Sir Aaron, I'm not exactly sure. I'll go with whatever you go with, Morgan, as we get the rotation to P2 here underway. SK, first one up on the hill, taking these challenges and stacking up the bodies as they come through, making a full sweep there for BU, and that's 4 down. Now you're SU Blue, you're spawning out. Time to communicate with the team. Where are we hitting? Let's do it together. Don't want to be too individualistic on this next hit.
And finally, Plasma goes down, but it is just too little too late. Picked up both of the score streak off of that initial run, and that's just going to be so difficult to push through, especially when we get back over to Hill 4. SK getting the first kill for himself through the garage door. Now going to try and slide the corner. Picks up a second one onto AC, and his squad is off to a fast and ripping start. Up 59-10. I was about to say 60, but SU slides in right before. But you were definitely seeing why we were saying Butler were the favorites coming into this one. They have the Slayers, and it is Plasma coming out as an early MVP candidate.
Absolutely. 10-2 right now. Already double positive in this game as we see the rotation into P3. The setup was there for SU Blue, but they're not getting on the time as BU continues to flood in. It's looking like they might have a chance to make a break, but those spawns in the back, so important. You see number 5 on your minimap, holding down that lane, making sure that the spawns don't flip. Plasma going for the gunny, but the Krig for Pump Knot is there, so they maintain those spawns, but you got to be worried about the time. This lead is starting to get out of hand. 95 points already for BU, and they just continue to soak on this time. They're not worried about the spawns. Why do you need to be when you're winning the slaying department like they are right now? Just go ahead and sit on the hill and let this lead keep on extending to where it is now. You're already up over 100 points.
Yeah, I mean, spawns are great when you're down maybe like 20 points. You can feel confident in getting back into it, but you're 2 full hard points and 2 full outstanding hard points, may I add, from getting back into this one. For SU, as AC going to be the first one on and loses that firefight versus the man out called Sir Aaron. They got to find something real quick, and this is what I was talking about, Plasma!
Oh, no.
The triple off of the cruise missile. That hill is just too wide open, and all of that fighting for spawns means nothing as Butler run in, take it, and get over the halfway score mark.
Potentially the best hill in the game to use a score streak on. As a nice flood comes in from SU Blue, they're pushing out on the hill. They get the kill, and they do get the flip. So after they get their setup broken, they're able to reflip here. 38 seconds still to go on this hill. Just a matter of holding it down. Get yourself back in this game a little bit as the kills continue to come through, though, for BU Esports. It's really, really tough to stay down on this time if you're Pump Knot. Down to 20 health points. Doing his best to stay alive on the hill. Shots coming in on AC right here. This final 20 seconds is up for grabs. A big fight by the box is going to be in favor of AC. So this final 15 seconds should go into the hands of SU Blue. Now you go and rotate back for the second set of rotations. But, I mean, I will say, I think that's a nice showing for SU Blue on that final hill. You kind of creep your way back into this one. Got to get these rotations in check. But you really have to start outslaying your opponent where you're down right now. You look at White Chicken, 5-9. AC, 5-13. Those are just not good enough numbers compared to Plasma, who's 18-8 right now for BU.
Yeah, I mean, recovering from the 3-man cruise missile out of Plasma's side to get good time there on P4, that's exactly what SU Blue needed to do. Coming back here to P1, though, they've been completely forced off, picking up that kill on the backside. Pump Knot wanted to make the play for spawns, and Plasma just not going to let it happen. He is back into his office there in the top right corner of the map, and with the help of Sir Aaron, racking up a full 2 minutes of objective time just coming through to P1 on the second rotation. It just seems like Butler are too locked in to give any chance for Sheridan to get back into this one.
Sir Aaron, the super soaker, like you said, up over 2 minutes. That's ridiculous. And you're right, Plasma has really been in the office over by that tire, holding down that hard angle on the outer push of P1. He continues to pick up kills, up to 24-9 now, holding a very valuable position in the top catwalk area. So you can see the setup in place right now for BU Esports. We'll see what the hit looks like for SU as they start to push in. Vortex grabs 2, Plasma with another. And it looks like another solid hold for BU as they're on P2. Another money hill here. This is when it really starts to slip away for SU Blue. You got to pull something together here if you want any chance in the rest of this match.
Yeah, already 184 and growing for Butler as SK going to try and make this play through the top of the stairs. See if he can turn this corner with teammates pushing in. Vortex going to be the first one. Good hip fire spray out of Shadow Man, but just no help from the teammates as SK gets that double kill from the top. Now going to try and challenge onto Pump Now outside the door. There it is. 3 quick ones coming through for SK as he gets up to 16-10 and Plasma still dominates for his squad. 200 points now cross for Butler and for SU Blue, who is going to be the man. Where does it start turning around? You might not pick up this map, but you need to find a little bit of momentum before we switch to the SND.
Exactly. I mean, this one seems to be all but done and dusted. The lead way out of hand, but you're right. You got to find some momentum, some little bit of positivity to take into the search and destroy. Got yourself a little setup here. Shadow Man on a slight streak, 3 kills, will finally fall on the hill. Plasma, just more of the same, has been going off this match, 27-10, trying to make it triple positive, pushing into P3 here, grabbing kills. Why not switch guns? Because the Krig, or the M4 was just not giving him enough fun. He was getting bored using that. As you see the trades come in, kill feed lighting up in blue and white right now. The rotation for P4 important, but again, this lead is just way too big. If you're SU Blue, you need to funnel onto the hill to try to slow down this time. I don't know if they're going to be able to do it at this point. Just seems to be out of hand. You got to start to focus on that search and destroy and find some momentum.
Yeah, but it's all going to come down to the here and now with 9 seconds remaining. Butler going to try and make it happen as Vortex starts to get himself a streak. Wallbang through to get the 5th kill on the life. Just knew exactly where White Chicken was going to be set up, and that will end it. Butler come through fast and furious, map number 1, and win it 250-69.
So kind of what we expected, right? I mean, Butler, the favored team coming into the match at 3-1, have the control, the respawn, first respawn completely in check, just slaying power off the charts from Plasma, almost triple positive in the game. Anytime you have your assault rifle player going near triple positive, it's going to be pretty easy as a submachine gun player to just get on the hill, soak up that time. Now we head into map 2. If you're SU Blue, got to find some way to turn this one back around, get some momentum on your side. Hopefully respawn's just not your game mode, and you can straighten things out in search and destroy, where it becomes less gun heavy, I guess you could say, more strategy involved.
Yeah, and I mean, if we're going to look at the key players for both teams, it's obvious who is the key player right there for Butler. It was Plasma with really kind of a turret style of play. He got back into those positions where you get 3 long lines of sight and you just go from one to the next, put a few bullets into someone, pick up that kill and repeat. He wasn't doing as much like slide canceling, any aggressive movement stuff you'd expect out of your SMG players. He knows his role. Just hold those angles and the kills will come to you. I thought it was beautiful play top to bottom. For SSU though, for Shawnee, it was coming through. Pumpnut was really the only guy that ever got positive for his squad. So a lot of pressure onto him to keep up. He can't slow down at this point. He is the one bastion of hope his team has, and he just has to hope someone else comes to meet him at that level of play at some point.
Right. And I think, unfortunately for SSU, you go into map 2, it's Moscow Search and Destroy, which is kind of the more gun-favoring Search and Destroy map. You really just going to push over to A most rounds on offense and just win the slaying department. You don't have to really worry about planting a lot of rounds until it gets into those smaller number situations. So I think if you're SSU, this is a pretty unfortunate draw to have Moscow Search and Destroy as map 2. I think you got to start playing off the guys who are doing well, though, like you said, right? I mean, if Pump Knock can get something going with the assault rifle, open things up with a first blood or two, then maybe your submachine gun players have more space on the map to get active. But it's just really, really tough because we know that the assault rifle on the other side in Plasma for BU is really, really strong through this first map.
Yeah, and I was going to say that might be what's even more worrying than any of those up close and personal firefights is just over by A. The defensive line of sight you get for your AR is so powerful. Right where the sniper used to be setting up, it has now gone over to your AR. Expect the Krig 6 to overlook it. And with the lasers that were coming out of Plasma in that first map, I would just expect for him to pick up right where he left off, lead his team to victory, and it's going to be all about handling that sniper of an AR for SSU to get back into this one as we load into map number 2.
He's like a sentry gun out there. You're right. Just kind of standing still with that M4 and laying down the bodies.
I thought that score streak was banned. They're coming out. They're bringing one in.
It's back in the CCL, but who really needs him if you're a human sentry gun like Plasma is? We get into Moscow. And I mean, we talk about it too in our previous casts that Moscow is a map where you can kind of go outside the box with your strategy a little bit. You can try to play over towards B, obviously A, the more favorable bomb site, and we'll see what happens. I think if you're BU, you're extremely comfortable going to A, as we see here in this first round. You know you have the slaying department in your favor. Go ahead and put those guns to work and take these challenges with an ego.
Yeah, if you're the better team, you do not mess with the meta. You just go through with what you know works. Right now, Shadow Man's going to be in a difficult position. Same with Pump Not trying to get an angle over the back. He did spot out Vortex, and look at the communication right there. Make the call. Shadow Man picks it up. It's a 2 for 0 to kick things off, and Shawnee all of a sudden are up. Also getting info on the cross. Bomb carrier gonna fall, and it is a 4v3, but the man left standing, Plasma, cannot do it all, and Shawnee come out hot to pick up round 1.
That's a really, really strong start, and you're absolutely right, Morgan. It's the communication that was so key. You had Pump Not playing that position over by the back, gets the information, relays it to his teammate. Teammate makes the play, you get yourself a life advantage, and then it's smart from there on out. But I think it has to feel good if you're SU Blue to shut down an A push for BU there. You know that's where they're going to go most of this game. To shut it down in the first round has to feel pretty good. Now, if you can grab an offense, you get out 2-0, all of a sudden, this can really be a favorable position early into this match.
And it seems like they are going to do what we might have expected from them. Put some pressure over by B. Try to avoid that long line of sight that
Uh-oh.
Plasma will set up on. But here we go. SK underneath. We've seen this do big work before. Unable to pick up that initial kill. And so it's a 3v1 for the moment over by B. Starting to see the defense rotating across. And SK just lining them up. Knocks down the first one. But White Chicken trades it on back. And we're left in a 3v3.
That is a huge kill out of White Chicken as the bomb is going to go down. It's going to be a 2v3 situation as the retake comes in for BU. More kills from these assault rifle players following up, and Shadow Man is left alone in a 1v3. Put some shots down. His position's going to be known. And Vortex is just going to turn and burn there. That's unfortunate for Shadow Man. I mean, the B strat, it kind of really gets sought out by SK, right? Like, he slows things down as the first line of defense, puts some shots down, picks up first blood, and then his teammates have the information. They have some time to rotate back and retake, as we see it here in the kill feed. Vortex with a couple big kills, one onto White Chicken. Looking for his second. Shadow Man's going to jump out the back and try to play, and we'll see what this turn-on looked like. His POV, lay down and give it to him there. That is a really nice looking shot from Vortex. So we'll tie things up at one apiece. These teams will trade defenses. And again, I think it's going to come down to winning some offenses. That'll be what separates one of these two squads.
And listen, I still don't hate that play coming out from Shawnee. They did get the bomb plan down, only down one man. And if that last kill comes through and actually SK falls, I think that it's possible for White Chicken to play it, maybe clutch it out. It's just they gave up a little bit too much too early. And there, White Chicken cannot find his shots. Gonna go down to SK to kick things off. And he is really starting to heat up for Butler, taking control of the middle of the map and applying pressure over towards A. It's all going to come down to how Shadow Man can hold this.
Both kills for SK, first bloods to start. That is so huge in search and destroy anytime you can be doing that. But an unfortunate disparity in lives here for SU Blue. Shadow Man going to be the first one up, holding this little heady, but he's got two players waiting to push through. Stun comes through, so he knows the push is coming. Gets the first one to SK. Going to turn around for the second on the bomb. Not going to get it. So an unfortunate circumstance there leaves AC all alone. 1v3, bomb going down at A, trying to retake from the backside of the apartments.
And what good team play coming out of Butler right there. Just before Sir Aaron goes down, Plasma takes out the man behind the statue. Then Sir Aaron is able, or actually I think it was Vortex, able to shoot in here where AC has set himself up, get the second kill. Plasma will go down, look in the wrong direction. Almost turns the second, but not quite crisp enough on the aim, and it's going to be too straight for Butler.
Really good effort there. I thought he might have had it with that second kill. Still would have had a third to deal with, and now we've seen it, right? First team to pick up an offense will be going to be you. That could prove to be pretty crucial. But again, you just can't let the momentum get away from you if you're SU Blue. You give him that round on offense. You really need to pick up one for yourself, because if BU starts to get a little more of this momentum that they had in that first map, we know it's going to be tough to come back.
Yeah, now going back to the attacking side, we already know it's a very difficult one to pick up here on Moscow. Going to be a traditional A-side hit coming through for Shawnee as Sir Aaron rushes up. That trophy system might get spotted out, so if they expect him down here below the half wall, they could pick that kill up. But Pumpknot just creeping out into open cover, gets executed by Plasma, and this is the turret we were talking about. 3 for 0 to kick things off, and all of a sudden, Shadow Man left all alone trying to do the impossible. Gonna see the first man around the corner. Plasma gets that information. SK cleans it up, and 3 straight for the Bulldogs.
That's what I'm talking about. Some of this momentum starts to go their way, and all of a sudden it's a runaway train as we see the big play in this round was Plasma holding down the initial push. The beams are there. We talked about it. A human sentry gun right now in this match, picking up 2 huge kills to start things off, slowing down the push, and now BU back on offense. This is one where things would really get away from if you're SU Blue. Got to win a defense. You can go ahead and get aggressive. You have to expect the A hit. It's what they've done all game long. They've had success. Get a little aggressive on defense. Push up. Try to make the play. Force the emphasis on your opponent. Just because you're on defense doesn't mean you always have to play so passive. You see one player headed over to B, one player watching over mid, and a duo over there at A. That's the defensive setup for SU Blue.
Yeah, Pump Knot might be the point of contact if Butler decide to push even further into the middle. Bomb Carrier actually going all the way down to the lower courtyard, focusing by B, but I think he's just playing for information. You can see the other 3 members of Butler still set up at this A site. No one spotted anybody out, and so the call comes through to rotate as we get the top down, take control of the middle and the bottom of the map, and the pressure now onto Pump Knot and AC. They are the ones holding these angles. A couple kills could shut it all down, but if you lose these If you get knocked off, it is the end of everything. Here comes Butler to try and make this play on the bottom of the street, just positioning. No one wanting to be the first one to make the call. No one wanting to be first blood in this round. But as they jump into sight, it's about to pop off.
It starts to pop off after all the waiting. Here comes the action. Trades back and forth, and now in favor of BU. 3v1 all up to White Chicken, who'll be rotating back from A. It's been a little change of pace in this round after all that action. These teams played a little slower. Finally, the bomb goes down, and White Chicken has just got his hands full there. That's going to be near impossible to retake. So BU pick up a little of this momentum and take running right away. And now they're up 4-1 all of a sudden. If you're SU Blue, this one's starting to feel like it's getting out of reach.
Yeah, it feels like the difference in guns are just starting to catch up to you. I've really liked the communication and the strategies that I've seen out of Shawnee thus far. They have done good things, but when it comes to that moment where you need to get a kill to open up a site, or you need to get a kill to slow down these pushes, they are just not quite able to do it. And I want to see right now, Plasma has stick drift going on pretty heavily, and he is still able to laser these guys down. The man is just locked in at the moment. 5-3, only getting beaten out by the 5-2 Sir Aaron, setting up this A side defense, and it's all up to Shawnee to try and make this break happen and get back into the game.
Here's some of this aggression I'm talking about on defense. Aaron pushing up by the wall is going to spot 3 players, and that time doesn't work out. The team shots come through, so first blood in favor of the offense. Maybe a chance to open things up. AC all alone in mid is in a very difficult gunfight with Vortex. Gonna win that. Now head over to A, reinforced with the squad where you have 4-on-2. Should be able to get this round win, just trade out these kills, but it's going to be difficult with Plasma. Now you get that one. This thing should all but be done for. SK in a difficult spot, 1v4, going to back up to play the life. Bomb will go down, and you got 4 players to get through. Picks up the first one, so that's a nice start. Still 40 seconds to work with. Checking this flank and maybe thinking about wrapping it to go up top Eskies, maybe try to catch the opposing team off guard. This would be an absolute kick while you're down if SU was unable to get this round. Still 30 seconds to go here. SK working up the escalators. Shadow Man might have hurt him, and he did. So a nice round win there for SU Blue to stop the bleeding after BU started to run away with it. A big offensive win. This was a big gunfight in mid-map as well for AC. Could have opened up a pinch for Vortex. Instead, he wins the gunfight, and they're able to win it with a life advantage.
It's exactly what I was talking about. When you need to get a kill to slow down a play, AC does it and takes down Plasma with the rechow. Big gunplay coming out right there from one of the Shawnee members, but they are not out of the woods quite yet. Still down 2, and I think these are must wins until you tie things up 4-4. As soon as you give that map point over to Butler, they are going to be going tooth and nail to finish off. They are still all up, every member positive. So for SU, this defense means so much, and White Chicken again gonna get aggressive and challenge Plasma, not letting him get away with his life, and it's first blood over to Butler.
Just cannot be doing it. We've been talking about Plasma this whole time, and the gun that he's got in his hands is really, really effective. Shadow Man, though, going to even the odds slightly to 2v3. SK is there for the trade. All of a sudden, it's up to AC, who had some success in the last round, picking up some kills. He's going to spot out SK. Trigger discipline, or maybe just didn't spot him right away. Almost a 2-piece. It was a good effort, but it's going to fall short, and I agree with you, Morgan. That had to be treated like it was the closeout round. Now it is a closeout round, and there's so much pressure to keep this one alive if you're SU Blue. Not a lot of pressure for BU on the other side of things. Just play freely, continue to do what you've been doing. You've had the gunplay in your favor. Just go ahead and take those challenges like you have been all game long, and things should fall in place.
Yeah, that was definitely, I think, meant trigger discipline. He intended for it to go like that. Got a little bit shaky, so he decided to get the kill early and then couldn't quite turn the double, but moments away. One more bullet could have made that a 1v1 in the final moments with plenty of time to get the defuse through. Here we are going into map point for Butler, looking to go up 2-0 right now over Shawnee with plenty of time to do it, but it is all about as SK spots out the feet of AC. You gotta finish strong. If you give the opponents a chance to get back into this one, you never know what may happen. So the Bulldogs right here, right now, want to finish this one off in emphatic fashion.
Gotta be decisive here if you're SU Blue. If you're gonna push B, gotta go for it. And we see the push start to happen at the start of that round too. We got to see that BU using 3 assault rifles, so a strategy there in and of itself to hold down the longer sight lines. SK with the M4 here. First one to pick up a kill. That'll be first blood on Pump. Not a chance for two as White Chicken creeps around. He'll fall as well. AC, though, there to pick up a kill. So 2v3. Shadow Man, great timing to just barely get away from SK, but SK playing that bomb so well. Make it 9-5 for SK in this match. And now, again, all up to AC in a very difficult situation. He will fall as well. The momentum started to go in favor of BU. They end up running away with this match, winning it 6-2, maintaining that dominant performance from map 1. All of a sudden, all the momentum out the window for SU Blue, and it's going to be a difficult map 3 to bring this one back.
Yeah, there in the final moments, SK able to pick up 3 for himself and just shutting it down here. Shadow Man trying for this re-challenge, doesn't quite get it. And that one feels like a heartbreaker. I think the SND is probably where Shawnee tend to shine. They seem to have that kind of cerebral style of play that really benefits from the style of game mode Search and Destroy brings. And having that one not go your way, Plasma shutting it down, SK shutting it down, every single member of Butler just popping off in their own way. This control could get rough. We are going to be going over, as I take a look back at our map sheet, to raid for the control. And I think even more that favors Butler's side because you can just be hitting back and forth between the two control sites. And if the defense isn't quick on their rotations, you get left all tangled up.
Yeah, unfortunately for Shawnee State right now, this is a really deep hole, and I think raid control only, again, is supportive of Butler. It's a map where if you're comfortable, you have the slaying power, you can pretty much run free through mid-map and then just cut to A and B wherever you'd like. I think in terms of a team having to play strategically, this map is not the one you want, and you're down 2-0 if you're Shawnee. You got to find some way to dig yourself out of this one. It's going to be tough. I honestly wish I could say I knew what the formula was going to be for this one, but at this point, it's just like, you got to find some win somewhere to put behind your sails, try to get your way back into this one. Play as a team, though. I think that's the huge thing, right? Like, keep the vibes up, communicate, make sure you're playing as a squad. Don't have to make every play by yourself. Bait and switching, trading, team shots, all that stuff can be so helpful when you don't have this laying power on your side. And obviously, so far through this match, they haven't. So I think that's going to be the key. Just playing as a team, communicating, and you have to hope that you can get this thing back where you want it to be, down 2-0.
Yeah, and I mean, I think at the very least, some of the guns were starting to wake up there in the last map. We saw White Chicken make a few big plays for the side of Shawnee. And so if they can come through as a team and keep building through their momentum, it's possible they just came out ice cold map 1 and they're trying now to get things going. They might be able to take it to 5 rounds here in the control. And once you're in that map or the round 5, anything can happen. You can steal it away. That is how Search and Destroy teams tend to win matchups, is by taking away this control. And you got to remember, the one win on the record for Shawnee State is in reverse sweep fashion. So
yeah,
never count them out. They could come back. They are, in all intents and purposes, a come from behind team. But it's a big hill to climb. I try to leave the opening always. You got to keep it exciting. But my pick, if I had to bet on it, would still be going over to Butler right now.
Right. I mean, this is like a mountain at this point. And you talk about them being cold in map 1. It was on Crossroads. They were a little cold in map 2. That was on Moscow. It's getting over to Raid, which I believe is somewhere in the Miami, or it seems to be a tropical location. So maybe things warm up a little bit in terms of the map set. I don't know. Just trying to find any bit of positivity to throw in the direction of Shawnee here. Got your hands full going into this map, but you just got to reset the drawing board, right? Just go back and treat it like it's a 0-0 series at this point. It's going to be huge to play as a team. Might have a reset. So we'll keep things going on the anchor desk here. And I don't know. I think it's crazy how there's just snow hitting Texas and hitting you. I don't know. Everybody kind of getting
apocalyptic.
It's apocalyptic, right? That's a good way to describe it.
I know that you're from up there in the north. You're thinking this much snow means absolutely nothing. But when you're not used to it, you don't have the infrastructure. It can all go south real quick. And I'm just wish the best to all the teams that are still trying to hold on. I know we had one game yesterday that was unable to be played due to weather conditions. So just, stay safe, stay warm, make sure you are all prepared if you haven't already in case power goes out. That's what I got to keep. I got all the blankets pulled out just in case. You never know what happens. And just wishing the best for everybody that is involved with the CCL right now.
grab a candle, grab a headlight, get some board games ready to go. I think Monopoly was always the pastime
You know,
for my
that's a
family.
vibe. I
When
don't
the
think that has
yeah,
enough
I
like
like those are
board
great
games
memories.
by the candlelight when the power goes out. You're gonna be happy thinking back to those later. Not gonna love it during
Exactly.
the time as we try again to load in here to map number 3. I think the key for Shawnee State is all gonna come down early to map number 1. Can you come out hot? Can you at least compete for it in case you lose and then make your statement round map or rounds number 2? Otherwise, if you can actually come in, go up 1-0 early, that means you have some room to work with. You have a round to give, and they are going to be coming in from the defensive side here to try and set up against whatever Butler tried to do. Seems like an A side hit to kick things off.
Yeah, need to keep it aggressive as well. We know that spawn killing can be very, very important in control, and if BU starts to get a wave of kills and push up into your spawn, that's when things start to get tough. So got to play that map control as well. So we're into it here, and there's a contest going on A. Sir Aaron gonna be the first one to make the aggressive move, and it's sought out by Shadow Man. So 3 kills in favor of the blue team. Make it 4. That's a really strong start, and you're on defense. This is what I'm talking about. Do what I just said. Go ahead and push up. Start to play some spawn kills. Pup not. Oh my goodness, that's gonna be a nice double headshot kill there to slow down the push over at B, and things are looking good to start here for SU Blue.
And even more than that for Pump Knot, he was essentially 3v1 over there. He doesn't get those kills, and he start hitting that ping pong attack that you love here on Raid. White Chicken is still rolling through. He's 4-0. Pump Knot's 3-0. All of a sudden, what is happening? We've seen it over and over again that some teams just know how to work control. And Butler with 3 members on Goose Eggs here with time starting to tick away.
Already 10 lives in favor of SU Blue. That is massive as well. And you're right, though. That was going to be a little of my fear coming into this one as you see teams ping pong between the 2 sites start to hit A. Now you see the white team and BU already stacking at B. Starting to tick up pretty quickly here, but the kills coming through for SU Blue. That's a good sign. Got to get those players off the tick. You still have one there in Plasma. AC able to seek that out and pick up a kill. So 27 seconds for BU here to get on a point and try to extend this round. They don't have lives in their favor. It's not looking too good, but the push continuing to come through a B. You see it on your mini map. Full screen. No one there for SU Blue. They're going to go ahead and chalk B. Start to play for A. Get your setup intact. And you have the life advantage. So it's still very in your favor.
Yeah, I think SU just kind of overcommitted. They thought that it would continue going back and forth. They sent some members rotating back over to A, but Butler hit B 2 times in a row, and there was no one left on the defense. White Chicken is still slaying, though. He has now picked up his initial kill streak, and he's just going to have that in the back pocket, looking for the cruise missile now. This is shades of Plasma Map 1 with the way he has been coming through, as Sir Aaron picks up a kill and immediately gets traded back by his own teammate. White Chicken had the cruise missile for himself, but gave up on the angle, as now have to try and go 2v1 as SK spots it. More members pushing, so much aggression, and he's gonna get shut down, but AC on the scene answers with a triple kill of his own, and Butler only 35 seconds remaining and down 15 lives for themselves.
These are huge kills coming through right now for SU Blue as they continue to pick them up, get the life advantage as far up as you can in case of a round 5. You might want to play defense. And White Chicken up to 8-1, I believe, switched to an assault rifle, which he's having a lot more success with another kill in favor of White Chicken there. As this one's pretty much all but said and done. You see it, 1 player left for Sir Aaron here, 3-8, running around, just trying to play the life. Yeah, no reason to get killed here. And like I say, set things for your team and come in terms of round 5. Sorry, I couldn't talk there. But a really strong showing from SU Blue in that first round. We talked about it. Had to come out of the gates hot here and win this first round, playing from behind, trying to get some momentum back, and they did exactly that. They're coming out hot in this one, and I don't know. I think this one's not over just yet.
Yeah, I mean, AC coming up huge right there with that triple kill, because no matter how big your lead in respawns is, 1 break is enough to take the A site here on Raid. It can be very difficult to get back into it if you get sent back to your spawns all at once as the defense. So clutch play there. And I mean, I talked about White Chicken heating up in the SND, but I did not think it would come to this level. He has the XM4 in hand, is 9-1 with an artillery strike now in the back pocket in case they need it. If you only are coming in now and you're just seeing the scores, you would assume that the 2-0 team is Shawnee. They are dominant, and it's going to have to be answered big, and Butler seem to be up to the task here with an early triple kill.
Players on BU right now, almost all double negative coming into this round. Really need to turn it around. Vortex going to fall, was on low health. You see on the mini-map a pretty spread out attack right now. Aaron might have a chance to break things open. White Chicken picking up a kill on SK. The push could be coming through to B. SU Blue still trying to figure out what they want to do. And maybe number 8 there on your mini-map to split things up and go A would be a big kill on number 1 to start a tick there as the kills are coming through for the defense at B. Player at A right now, 8 on your minimap. Yeah, here we go. Is going to be in a big position to get this kill. Goes down to 1 health, and it's not going to happen. So again, if you're SU Blue, got to go back to the drawing board and figure out what you want to do with this round. Neither of these attacks to either site has been successful yet.
Yeah, this is a bit of a mirror from what we saw last round. I know Shawnee are sticking a bit closer than what Butler could do from the attacking side, but running out of time, only 25 seconds remaining, and no control anywhere on the map. This could easily be won by the defensive side now. Butler trying to answer, tie things 1-1. Here comes Pumpnot, though, gonna pick up a big flank on both SK and Vortex. That is an open B site as well, drawing the attention the other way, and his teammate's gonna try and help him out. I like the play to cover stairs, but a little bit too slow. And Shadow Man about to have to go 2v1 around this corner. Vortex turns and finds that kill, and I just don't know. 10 seconds remaining. It feels like Shawnee just couldn't keep the momentum up, but remember that score streak still sitting heavy in the back pocket of White Chicken to be brought out whenever the close rounds need to be won.
Tie them up 1 apiece, and I think when you're looking at that push, we're seeing it in the kill cam from the opposite side. When you're going to B here, yeah, you might think you want to stack it. You really need to play the control on the spawns and on the map in general. The players for the defensive side are going to spawn so close, they can just run over, pick up the kills, trade it out like they did here in this kill cam. If you're going to be going to attack B, you kind of need to get some position, hold the kitchen area, hold on to money. You got to have an eyesight on the cutout. There's so many places to be watching. You can't necessarily stack the point as much as you need to play control before you do that.
Yeah, but now going back to the defensive side, I'm surprised by how dominant the defense has been for both teams thus far. I usually would consider Raid a much more balanced and even control map, but for Shawnee right now, for SU, if you can come out the same exact way as you did the first time and just put Butler on the back foot early, that is all you need to do to take this one the distance. You are winning heavily on the overall respawn difference. You will have the defensive side going into map 5 if you want it, but here comes Plasma to try and put the 2v1 onto Shadow Man. Shadow Man gets the first onto Sir Aaron, gets immediately traded back as the A site gets attention. Plasma back and slaying like he was earlier and really hunting for that artillery strike to try and even up the score streak economy.
That's what you'd like to see if you're Butler. A 5-kill streak for Plasma, trying to get some streaks, like you say, will fall. That's huge if you're SU Blue to slow down those streaks. You still have one in your back pocket, I believe. White Chicken holding on to that artillery. But the A capture already comes through for the offense here. Now you start to gain control of the backside. Huge kill from AC there to slow down that push, because then you would have had the spawns in jeopardy. All of a sudden, though, the push to B starting to come through. You're seeing it for the white team. Flooding in, number 2 there, starting the stack. He's getting some support from teammates coming off spawn, but they're shutting down the push. Number 7 there, huge. Shadow Man with a 2-piece for money. That'll stop things for the time being. Both teams about to meet face-to-face here on the push to B. Shadow Man, first one up, trying to slow things down, and it's a methodical, slow hit for BU. It's going to be important to gain control of kitchen. You see number 4 there, thinking about that push will fall as well. And it's just a really good job if you're SU Blue to slow things down for the time being. No openings at all for Butler to get onto this point. But there's the first one that you got to be liking to see if you're Butler. Finally, 2 kills come through. You start to get the stack together. And this is a huge position for Vortex. Slow down these kills and get these guys off spawn so your team can get on the point.
Yeah, White Chicken's still alive up inside of the basketball courts, and Pumpnot gets a very big kill up here inside of the window. That means you still have eyes on the site. Very difficult press to come through, and a nearly even respawn difference for the squads. Butler now going to take control of the stairs once more as SK looking both ways, wants to make that push through kitchen. The flank not going to come through easily there as AC falls to SK, and up in the window, Pumpnot still getting very big kills for his squad to stay alive. With the minute remaining, I still feel like any win condition is available for these squads. They could get the control. They could win on lives. You can win on time, but Plasma gets the headshot. The site nearly opening up, and this flank could be everything as Sir Aaron finds the first one, and White Chicken is forced to respect it on the turnaround shot.
Huge flank there from Sir Aaron to open things up, and now the trades come through. You have to hope your teammates can win out. Plasma, last one on the point, holding on to this top money position. You have to expect him to pick up the kills with the way he's been playing so far in this series. He does find Pump Knot, will find 2 into money, and that's enough for his squad to get the stack on B, win that second round. And I think for Sir Aaron, that was the play you needed to see happen. It was like a matter of time before someone hit the long route to open things up on the back end, finally does it, goes to back basketball, picks up a kill. Then everyone on the defense is forced to turn their head to try to trade that out. That's when things open up. Kills come through for your squad, and you're able to capture B. That was the big play from Sir Aaron.
And the worst possible result for SU right there. You had to try and keep that lead. If you just trade it back and forth, you are all good. But now it is going to have to be a win from the attacking side. I mean, the KDs are looking okay for that side. You have 15 and 10 for Pump Knot, 19 and 13 for White Chicken. But from double negative on nearly everyone to members fighting for even and positive on Butler's side, they have completely turned around this momentum. And they are in the driver's seat to win this game. On map points, they have the defense and the so far better side for themselves. I like this play early for Shawnee. Try and make something happen here outside of pool as they have the 3v1 momentarily onto Vortex. He's going to get fought down inside of the window. The trade coming through instantly as Plasma pushes in through the courts, finds the first one, gets the second, wants the third. There goes Plasma to shut down the attack and has 2 in the back of the score streaks.
Oh my gosh, that is disgusting kills from Plasma there at the backside. After the sweep comes through at A, the offensive team decides to hit B. It doesn't matter. Plasma's there waiting to clean up the kills. And after you come off spawn, now you got to decide where are we going here. We don't have the capture at B necessarily. We don't have anything going at A. So now the push starts to focus up at A. Maybe a dual hit, though. You see the players separating for Shawnee. The kills come through at A. It's a trade battle, and now everybody cleaned up. The force at B is going to be huge. White Chicken in a position to start something, but Vortex there to clean it up. So the rotations for BU have been so good on this defense, not allowing anything to get started at either of these points. 38 seconds. It's starting to tick away. Shawnee really need to capture one to extend this round.
I don't know. White Chicken kind of feels like a rookie investor on the stock market. He bought into that artillery strike, but he is just too afraid to sell and send it. It has just been sitting there and not used. Now you are behind overall as Plasma shows exactly how you can use those score streaks, gets himself a 2-piece, and still has the artillery strike to fall back on. 23 seconds remaining to get this initial hill. It is a big respawn lead for Butler as well. They have just completely taken control off of their MVP player. There goes White Chicken, finally gets one onto SK, but it is not exactly the value you would have wanted out of that. Pump Knot finds a big kill, and it all comes down to if they can hold B right here, right now, as Plasma rains hell from above, even gets 2 of his own teammates, and did a little too much damage to give the point back over to SU.
That last missile coming out of the artillery is going to kill his 2 teammates that would have been there to clean off the kills. So now this round gets extended for Shawnee. You don't have the lives in favor, but all you really need at A is one clean sweep, stack the point, and you can get the capture together. You see your mini-map, though. A nice setup for Butler already at A. They have 3 players awaiting the push. 1 kill comes through from SK, and that's a big one from AC. A chance to maybe hit out back kitchen, set up the pinch like we saw from Sir Aaron last round. But just as something starts to open up, it's Plasma, who really is heated up in the second part of this match. 29 and 14, and another kill streak, a chance to reset those streaks. And that would be all but the icing on the cake for this match. So difficult to push out when Plasma set up this sentry gun on the side of A.
Yeah, and here comes Shawnee 2v10 with the lives remaining. Pump not going to get taken out. White Chicken needs to do it all, and they just run into SK one after the next. And all of the hope that was built up round 1 squashed by the Butler Bulldogs as they go 3-0 afterwards and win the game in 3-0 fashion.
Incredible performance out of Butler. Really just played the aggressor, and that was so key. I mean, when you're confident in taking challenges, when you're winning your gunfights, it's obviously going to be so much easier to have control of the map. Fell asleep at the wheel there a little bit in that first round of the control, but they wake up, able to close it out. Plasma decides to go double positive one more time for good measure, and that was pretty much all that needed to happen. I mean, for Shawnee, it's a good showing. I just think in terms of comfortability on the map, knowing what your teammates are going to be doing, playing aggressive, that ball was just in Butler's court, and they did a better job of that. It ended up being the deciding factor. Still an okay showing for Shawnee. Got to get back to the drawing board, though, and try to straighten out some of that stuff. Butler, got to give him credit. Really good showing.
Yeah, I mean, hindsight will always be 2020. It is easy to
Yeah.
look back at these VODs and see what you did wrong, but I gotta call out White Chicken coming out so hot round one, really being the man to set the pace. You get that score streak, but then you just don't use it until it is well past too late. Your team is heavily behind. You had round three being close as it can be over on the B site to fight, and it is just wide open. You can send in the artillery strike, your teammates rush in right afterwards, and that is it. That is the difference. You win that round. It's an entirely different map. That's something he's going to be looking back on and shaking his head at a bit. But I like the fight coming out right there from the side of Shawnee State. They never gave up. They continued to battle until the very end. And you saw right there why their one win thus far is in reverse sweep fashion. These guys just do not give up.
Absolutely. Played from behind the whole time, but you're right. They played it with a lot of spirit, a lot of effort. They gave it their all. And it started to look pretty good there in that first round of control. The aggression was all of a sudden in their side, and they were picking up the kills. White Chicken made the switch from the submachine gun to the XM4 and was really starting to heat up. So I think there's good signs towards the end there. Butler, just obviously the more polished squad. They had the upper hand in the respawns. They had the gunplay in their favor, so that ended up being the deciding factor. But you're right. Got to give credit where credit is due. Shawnee didn't give up in this match. Played it all the way to the end, and they put up a good fight.
Yeah, but with that, that will bring our first game of the evening to an end. We've still got two more for you all. I'm going to be coming back. I'm on all three for this evening, but Cam, I know you're going to be sending it to a quick break yourself. You'll be back here for game number three. So I want to say thank you to you for casting this game with me. I want to say thank you to everyone that tuned in to watch this game. Whether you are a fan of one of the teams or just someone that likes watching the action, I hope you enjoyed it. And we will be back very, very soon for the second game. So stick around.